We're just hearing news reports on that Kwasi Kwarteng has been sacked. He's the Chancellor of the Exchequer here, British version of the Treasurer. And he basically flew back very quickly, flew back early from the US, where he was attending an International Monetary Fund meeting where he was criticised for British policy in relation to these proposed tax cuts. At the time, the central bank here in the UK, the Bank of England, has been increasing interest rates to try and keep a lid on inflation. Meanwhile, the brakes were being let off with government spending and borrowing here under Kwasi Kwarteng, as he was trying to pursue what him and Liz Truss referred to as a growth strategy of tax cuts that they hope would then inject itself into the economy and lead to growth. So those two policies were seen as contradicting each other. The Chancellor was criticised by the IMF, and the markets weren't happy either. We saw interest rates increasing to a degree in the UK that was very different to what was going on in the EU and North America. So the Chancellor was under a lot of pressure. He suddenly got on this flight, which was a bad sign. And it seems quite soon after he got off at Heathrow that it appears that he has been sacked as the Chancellor. And Liz Truss, the Prime Minister, the new Prime Minister here in the UK, will be giving a press conference in just over an hour's time.
And what's she expected to say? Apparently, we've heard that the former Finance Minister won't be by her side for this conference.
That's what we're hearing, and what we expect is another U-turn from the new Prime Minister, a U-turn specifically on corporation tax. Now, the former Chancellor of the Exchequer, Rishi Sunak, was increasing corporation tax here in the UK. Liz Truss was planning to get rid of that increase, so in effect a tax cut for corporations. And of course there was this gap between, she said she was not going to increase cuts to spending. There was going to be no cuts to spending, but she was losing this massive amount of revenue, tens of billions of dollars in revenue in the form of tax cuts. And everyone was saying, well, how are you going to make up the gap? And of course, everyone was thinking that was going to lead to more borrowing. And that's why we saw interest rates going up here in the UK. And of course, there were concerns that this could lead to contagion in other parts of the global economy. So it wasn't just a domestic issue here. There were real concerns that were expressed at that meeting in the IMF. So what we're expecting from Liz Truss is a backflip on the corporation tax increase to bring in the increase that the former Chancellor wanted, and to help balance out the budget here and to help calm the markets.
Significant developments there. Steve Cannane will be keeping an eye out. Thank you so much.
Thanks.